Hello and welcome back to a Soberdelic James Addiction Recovery live stream. Today we're going to talk about the doctor's opinion from the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. Let's get it popping. I stream every day, live stream addiction recovery from 4 to 6 p.m., anywhere from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Click that some bing bong booms and get you some SJ. The doctor's opinion. This is one of my favorite parts of the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. It is my favorite part. There's a couple parts of the big book that when you read it for the first time, it lets you know that you're in the right place. Let's read it while you guys trickle in. Don't be afraid to chat. Don't be scared. The doctor's opinion. This is from the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. This book hasn't changed in damn near 100 years. We of Alcoholics Anonymous believe that the reader will be interested in the medical estimate of this book. Let's turn this hip-hop music beats down. Convincing testimony must surely come from medical men who have had experience with the sufferings of our members and have witnessed our return to health. A well-known doctor, chief physician at a nationally prominent hospital specializing in alcoholic and drug addiction, gave Alcoholics Anonymous this letter. To whom it may concern, I have specialized in the treatment of alcoholism for many years. In late 1934, I attended a patient who, though he had been a competent businessman of good earning capacity, was an alcoholic of a type that I had come to regard as hopeless. In the course of his third treatment, he acquired certain ideas concerning a possible means of recovery. As part of his rehabilitation, he commenced to present his conceptions to other alcoholics, impressing upon them that they must do likewise with still others. This has become the basis of a rapidly growing fellowship of these men and women and their families. This man and over 100 others appeared to have recovered. I personally know scores of cases who were of the type with whom other methods have failed completely. These factors appear to be of extreme medical importance because of the extraordinary possibilities of rapid. This is the doctor's opinion from the big book of AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. Rapid growth inherent in this group. They may mark a new epoch in the annals of alcoholism. These men may well have a remedy for thousands of such situations. You may rely absolutely on anything they say about themselves. Very truly yours, Dr. William D. Silkworth. Now, are you a doctor? I am not. Let's read on. The physician who at our request, the physician gave us this letter and has been kind enough to enlarge upon his views in another statement which follows. In this statement, he confirms what we who have suffered alcoholic torture must believe, that the body of the alcoholic is quite as abnormal as his mind. Or her mind. Bear in mind, this was written 80 years ago, 90 years ago. It did not satisfy us to be told that we could not control our drinking just because we were maladjusted to life, that we were in full flight from reality or were outright mental defectives. These things were true to some extent, in fact, to a considerable extent with some of us, but we are sure that our bodies were sickened as well. In our belief, Any picture of the alcoholic which leaves out this physical factor is incomplete. The doctor's theory that we have an allergy to alcohol interests us. As laymen, our opinion as to its soundness may of course mean little, but as ex-problem drinkers, we can say that his explanation makes good sense. It explains many things for which we cannot otherwise account. Though we work out our solution on the spiritual as well as altruistic plane, we favor hospitalization for the alcoholic who is very jittery or befogged. More often than not, it is imperative that a man's brain be cleared before he is approached, as he has then a better chance of understanding and accepting what we have to offer. This is what the doctor writes. The subject presented in this book seems to me to be of paramount importance to those afflicted with alcoholic addiction. I say this after many years' experience as a medical director of one of the oldest hospitals in the country treating alcoholic and drug addiction. There was therefore a sense of real satisfaction when I was asked to contribute a few words on the subject, which is covered in such masterly detail in these pages. We doctors have realized for a long time that some form of moral psychology was of urgent importance to alcoholics, but its application presented difficulties beyond our conception. Do you know what I mean, man? What with our ultra-modern standards, our scientific approach to everything, we are perhaps not well equipped to apply the powers of good that lie outside our synthetic knowledge. Many years ago, one of the leading contributors to this book came under our care in the hospital, and while here he acquired some ideas which he put into practical application at once. Later he requested the privilege of being allowed to tell his story to other patients here, and with some misgiving we consented. The cases we have followed through have been most interesting. What's up, Shades of Clarity? Yeah, this is William D. Silkworth. You're right. Hey everybody, check out Shades of Clarity's channel by the same name, Shades of Clarity. My dude wears shades, bruh. Good channel. Many of these cases are amazing, it says. What's up, Dean? Stoyan? Oh, did I? How's everybody doing? Yeah, Shades of Clarity. You guys check it out. If you like my channel, you'll like his. It might be better than my channel. Maybe we can collab there, Shades. Let's see here. Where was I? The unselfishness of these men, as we have come to know them, the entire absence of profit motive, and their community spirit is indeed inspiring to one who has labored long and wearily in this alcoholic field. They believe in themselves, and still more in a power which pulls chronic alcoholics back from the gates of death. Of course, an alcoholic ought to be freed from his physical craving for liquor, but this often requires a definite hospital procedure before psychological measures can be of maximum benefit. We believe, and so suggested a few years ago, that the action of alcohol on these chronic alcoholics is a manifestation of an allergy, that the phenomenon of craving is limited to this class and never occurs in the average temperate drinker. These allergic types can never safely use alcohol in any form at all, and once having formed the habit and found they cannot break it, once having lost their self-confidence, their reliance upon things human, their problems pile up on them and become astonishingly difficult to solve. Frothy emotional appeal seldom suffices. Frothy emotional appeal seldom suffices. The message which can interest and hold these alcoholic people must have depth and weight. In nearly all cases, their ideals must be grounded in a power greater than themselves. if they are to recreate their lives. If any feel that as psychiatrists directing a hospital for alcoholics, we appear somewhat sentimental, let them stand with us a while on the firing line. See the tragedies, the despairing wives, the little children. Let the solving of these problems become a part of their daily work and even of their sleeping moments. And the most cynical will not wonder that we have accepted and encouraged this movement. We feel after many years of experience that we have found nothing which has contributed more to the rehabilitation of these men than the altruistic movement now growing up among them. This is the beginning of the program of Alcoholics Anonymous. Men and women drink essentially because they like the effect produced by alcohol. The sensation is so elusive that while they admit it injurious, they cannot after a time differentiate the true from the false. To them, their alcoholic life seems to be only the normal one. They are restless, irritable, and discontented unless they can again experience the sense of ease and comforts which comes at once by taking a few drinks. Drinks which they see others taking with impunity. After they have succumbed to the desire again, as so many do, and the phenomenon of craving develops, they pass through the well-known stages of a spree, emerging remorseful with a firm resolution not to drink again. This is repeated over and over, and unless this person can experience an entire psychic change, there is very little hope of his recovery. This shit is deep, yo, and very, very true. On the other hand, and strange as this may seem to those who do not understand, once a psychic change has occurred, the very same person who seemed doomed, who had so many problems he despaired of even solving them, suddenly finds himself easily able to control his desire for alcohol, the only effort necessary being that required to follow a few simple rules. What's up, Mike Tucker? Did you hear that part, Mike? You say you love the sense of ease and comfort. Listen to what it says after, listen to what the doctor says about the program of AA, the 12 steps, the altruistic nature, helping others, the fellowship. He said the very same person who seemed doomed, sleeping in bushes, who had so many problems he despaired of ever solving them, suddenly finds himself easily able to control his desire for alcohol, the only effort necessary being that required to follow a few simple rules. Men have cried out to me in sincere and despairing appeal, "Doctor, I cannot go on like this. I have everything to live for. I must stop but cannot. You must help me." Faced with this problem, if a doctor is honest with himself, he must sometimes feel his own inadequacy. Although he gives all that is in him, it often is not enough. One feels that something more than human power is needed to produce the essential psychic change. Though the aggregate of recoveries resulting from psychiatric effort is considerable, we physicians must admit we have made little impression upon the problem as a whole. Many types do not respond to the ordinary psychological approach. I do not hold with those who believe that alcoholism is entirely a problem of mental control. I have had many men who had, for example, worked a period of months on some problem or business deal which was to be settled on a certain date, favorably to them. They took a drink a day or so prior to the date, and then the phenomenon of craving at once became paramount to all other interests, so that the important appointment was not met. These men were not drinking to escape, they were drinking to overcome a craving beyond their mental control. There are many situations which arise out of the phenomenon of craving, which cause men to make the supreme sacrifice rather than to continue to fight. Phenomenon of craving, remember that. Phenomenon of craving. Once an alcoholic takes a sip of alcohol, a phenomenon of craving occurs. It's a phenomenon. Hey, Google, what's the definition of the word phenomenon? A situation which is observed to happen, especially one which cause is inexplicable. So it's a mysterious happening that for sure happens. Island Lake, thank you for the $2. No human power could have relieved our alcoholism. That's what this doctor in 1930, 1940 was writing. They are not afraid to admit that they had little impact upon psychologists, psychiatrists, and physicians had little impact upon the problem of alcoholism. Only the altruistic, spiritual solution of Alcoholics Anonymous and what's in this book seems to work. And that was 100 years ago, and it still works. Pat McAfee's coattails, Sober James, I could go for a few IPAs with you. Yeah. Well, I don't drink. Hippocampus takes over and is disconnected from the prefrontal cortex. That's the disease model. He foresaw it. Nice, Shades. I even love that craving feeling when it kicks in, you think it's on. I'm not going to stop till I drop. Michael Tucker. Heads up, brother. The four horsemen of the apocalypse. I can hear the ground rumbling as they are on their way to you. I'm sorry, bro, but I can feel it for you. And I'm sorry. And that's just my opinion. You better get to AA. Run, don't walk. To AA. Michael Tucker. The classification of alcoholics seems most difficult and in much detail is outside the scope of this book. There are, of course, the psychopaths who are emotionally unstable. We are familiar with this type. They are always going on the wagon for keeps. They are over-remorseful and make many resolutions but never a decision. Yeah, IPA is the devil. What's up, hashtag? Hashtag Miss Ford. Instead of searching inside for what they gave him, a strong will, strong mind causes. Hey, my name is James, and I'm an alcoholic with a thinking problem. It's a thinking problem. Drinking alcohol is just the perceived solution. There is the type of man who is unwilling to admit that he cannot take or drink. He plans various ways of drinking. He changes his brand or his environment. There is the type who also always believes that after being entirely free from alcohol for a period of time, he can take a drink without danger. There is the manic depressive type who is perhaps the least understood by his friends and about whom a whole chapter could be written. I kind of think I'm manic depressant. You like my hoodie there, Holly? I finally stopped sweating so much that I can wear hoodies. I can wear my favorite shirts again without sweat stains. I was sweating through hoodies. It was crazy, like nuts. It was embarrassing. You guys wondered why I took all the sleeves off my t-shirts? Because I was sweating through them all. You know what I mean? And I have gorgeous muscles and tattoos. That's why I took the sleeves off my t-shirts. Let's read on. Then there are types entirely normal in every respect except the effect that alcohol has upon them. This is still Dr. Silkworth writing. They are often able, intelligent, friendly people. All these and many others have one symptom in common. They cannot start drinking without developing the phenomenon of craving. This phenomenon, as we have suggested, may be the manifestation of an allergy which differentiates these people, and sets them apart as a distinct entity. It has never been, by any treatment with which we are familiar, permanently eradicated. The only relief we have to suggest is entire abstinence This was written damn near 100 years ago, and there still isn't a cure for addiction and alcoholism. There is only the treatment in these pages. Starts with complete abstinence. This immediately precipitates us into a seething cauldron of debate. Much has been written pro and con, but among physicians, the general opinion seems to be that most chronic alcoholics are doomed. What is the solution? Perhaps I can best answer this by relating one of my experiences. About 1 year prior to this experience, a man was brought in to be treated for chronic alcoholism. He had but partially recovered from a gastric hemorrhage and seemed to be a case of pathological mental deterioration. He had lost everything worthwhile in life, and was only living, one might say, to drink. He frankly admitted and believed that for him there was no hope. Following the elimination of alcohol, there was found to be no permanent brain injury. He accepted the plan outlined in this book. Check this out. This is pretty cool. This guy was hopeless, and he accepted the plan outlined in this book. 1 year later, he called to see me, and I experienced a very strange sensation. I knew the man by name and partly recognized his features, but there all resemblance ended. From a trembling, despairing, nervous wreck had emerged a man brimming over with self-reliance and contentment. I tried with him for some time and talked, but was not able to bring myself to feel that I had known him before. To me, he was a stranger, and so he left me. A long time has passed with no return to alcohol. I'm following the steps outlined in this book. When I need a mental uplift, I often think of another case brought by a physician prominent in New York. The patient had made his own diagnosis and decided his situation was helpless, had hidden in a deserted barn determined to die. He was rescued by a searching party and in desperate condition brought to me, the doctor. Following his physical rehabilitation, he had a talk with me in which frankly he stated he thought the treatment was a waste of effort, unless I could assure him, which no one ever had, that in the future he would have the willpower to resist the impulse to drink. His alcoholic problem was so complex and his depression so great that we felt his only hope would be through what we then called moral psychology, and we doubted it even that would have an effect. However, he did become sold on the ideas contained in this book. He has not had a drink for a great many years. I see him now and then, and he is a fine specimen of manhood as I could ever wish to meet. I earnestly advise every alcoholic to read this book through, and though perhaps he came to scoff, he may remain to pray. William D. Silkworth, M.D. Those are the doctor's words. How many times did he say phenomenon of craving? A phenomenon is defined as something that is definitely happening but has no explanation. Phenomenon of craving. The closest thing to an explanation they can put on this is they call it an allergy. Stoian, it's the moment you realize why you started and why you're stopping. Island says he had a problem stopping. Yeah. Addiction is defined as more or less continuing the compulsive behavior despite negative consequences. Moral, medical, financial, social, spiritual consequences. They pile up, and even though they are greater than benefits of what you perceive the benefits of drinking, you don't stop. Years go by, and some people get caught with the ultimate consequence: death. The phenomenon of craving. There's a class of people, we call them alcoholics, that, let's put it simply, cannot handle liquor. That might have some bad taste in your mouth, that phrase, so it's basically like this. The phenomenon of craving or an allergic reaction occurs to where you need to drink more. Now, as a Ute, in my younger days as an alcoholic, in fighting the whole disease, I would try to drink at a bar. I would try to drink 2 or 3, and that's it. I would succeed, and I'd be like, well, eureka. But as soon as the next day or even the following weekend, I would go on a spree to last all sprees and just demolish everything, like I had to make up for that week or something. And stop me if I'm wrong or unfamiliar. Stoian says, I found the after effects of alcohol as distressing, and most people tend to confuse it with some sort of withdrawal. But that's actually the effect. Yeah, I've been there too. I've been so strung out on booze for months and months and months that even when I'm drinking, I'm shaking and shit, sweating. It's honestly one of, if not the most diabolical drugs on earth. Focus on me, ugly mug, you camera. Every zoo's a petting zoo, unless you're a little bitch. Yeah, alcohol. That was 1939. That doctor wrote that around then, at least. And it rings as true today as it did then. Simply remarkable. All right, enough of, my book report. How's everybody doing? What are you up to? I'm going to go in 10 minutes because I got to go feed my dogs and then hit an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. The only place where I feel all right. Maybe it's because my house is a mess. Your boy has a job interview tomorrow. Your boy Soberdelic James for well, we shall see. I don't want to spoil it. But I've been spending entirely too much time here at the house. I used to like my house. I used to love it. I used to can't get enough of it. Go Ukraine. And now I just want to get out of it. But that won't last. I have aviation electrician experience and working with FA-18s in the United States Navy. And there's a program right now that's paying money to ex-military with aviation experience to get jobs. So I applied for it. I've lost all kinds of jobs, Shades. Hey, Holly, go check out Shades of Clarity, and the rest of you, go subscribe. Shades of Clarity. He's a punk rocker. Skateboarding, punk rocking, alcohol boozing, recovering alcoholic. So he's cool. Yeah, bro, FA-18 Hornets. That was me in the Navy. But guess where I found this opportunity to go get this $30 an hour paying job, like real man job, that I haven't had in fucking 6 years, mate. I got this opportunity in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous. You know what I mean? I really wish you guys would go to Alcoholics Anonymous. I know some of you do, and I love it. But when it comes to alcoholism and the ism of alcoholism, man, shit. Alcoholics Anonymous. That was the doctor's opinion, so don't take my word for it. Take his. Dr. William D. Silkworth. Shades of Glory, Miss Ford, Island Lake, Stoyan, Pat McAfee, Mike Tucker, Allians. I bid you the best for this evening. Amazing, isn't it? Where opportunity comes from. Yeah, your life starts, bro. Marvin the Magi Davis, AA saved my life. Me too. And it's not just saved me from dying. It literally gave me a life. What up, Trippy? Thanks for dropping in. It literally saved my life and gave me a life. Marvin the Magi, testify. Testify. I might have to start doing hour live streams again. These 30-minute ones are too short. However, I do have to go take care of myself, really. Yeah, Island, me too. When I say AA saved my life, I don't mean it saved my life like I didn't die, although that is very true. Alcohol means death for this alcoholic, and damn near any. But even functioning alcoholics don't have a life. AA can save your life even though you're not dying. You'll know what I mean when I get there. Bye, Miss Ford, and to everybody else, I stream between 4 and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every day on the subjects of alcohol addiction and everything in between. To you and your loved ones, I say I love you and hang in there. And also, until next time, keep it clean, keep it real, keep doing the damn thing. Peace.